Hey everyone, hey, this is Keith L. Jones and my main man, business partner EJ Gilliard, and we are coming to you today for an overview of crypto freedom, our community, what's going on, what me and the other leaders are doing in the background. Normally we have this hangout on Wednesdays. Unfortunately, due to some severe weather in certain areas, we had to change it to today and reschedule. So this is not the typical time or hour. So I fully expect most of you to take a look at the replay of this actual training and overview. But who am I? I'm Keith L. Jones. I've been in the industry for a little bit over 5 years. In between that time, I came across my business partner sitting in front of me, or you're watching him in front of you right now, EJ Gilliard. And for the last 3 years, we've really been building I don't want to say partnership, but a brotherhood. I never met this individual. In person, but it feels like, you know, he's my brother from another mother. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you, as I like to say it, my brother from another mother, someone that I highly respect of knowing how to leverage income. He has some announcements, some training, just some updates on what's going on in the next couple of months. Looking forward. So with that being said, Mr. EJ, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. The hangout is yours. Let me mute myself out so you can tell these important people what's going on with us.
Great. Thank you very much, Keith, for having me on, and actually thank you all for tuning in and seeing this. First and foremost, I apologize for my lighting. I know it's a bit dark. We're doing this in the evening time, so you know we're going to go ahead and rock this out. Now, thank you everybody who is actually a part of the group now. Things that are going to take place that are very, very important. But right now, let's just go over the first part of it. We have a very, very interactive and powerful group. And now the most important thing about that is we're sharing ideas and we're sharing different things that involve Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but primarily Bitcoin. So I see a lot of people now that are sharing exactly what they're doing to share our community, and also what people are doing to spread the word about Bitcoin in general. You know, some people in our group already are very new to it. There's been a lot of questions already asked, so I'll go over a few of the questions and then kind of give you more of a clear answer on what happens and what takes place. But to kind of give you a bit of an update now, I'm gonna let you know exactly where Bitcoin is right now up to this date. Right now, as we're speaking, Bitcoin is literally at close to $2,300 right now. That's where Bitcoin is right now. So when people ask me the question of dropping after it made this huge rise, there's a thing called supply and demand in every market. So it's completely normal for this to happen. Now that Bitcoin has made its peak and made its spike really, really high, supply and demand goes as if you overexhaust a certain currency, you're going to have to supply it with a certain level so it can be stable. In order for Bitcoin to be stable as a cryptocurrency, it has to level out its playing field so it has more wiggle room to gain more of a peak and more of a raise in its value. So you will see those slight drops. It's done that over the past years. Whether it be $500, it'll drop to 400, then drop, spike all the way up to 700, drop down to 600, spike all the way up to $1,000, spike down to 700 again, then go back all the way up to 1,500, and now here we are. And so it's completely normal for Bitcoin to have a fluctuating price. So don't be contingent and don't be complacent on just, oh, well, Bitcoin actually dropped in price. What's going on? So that's exactly what's going on. And then Keith wanted to add something really quick. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off. I appreciate that. And yeah, what I want to add, because it's individuals in our community and even individuals that's not in our community investing in Bitcoin say, hey, it's dropping now. You're going to sell. Now, it's your decision to do what you want to do as far as selling or not. we in this community are in it to at least attain at least one Bitcoin. I don't care when it peaks, when it falls, or whatever the case may be, because our overall goal is to put up one Bitcoin and save that for whatever amount we do it. We pay for it currently, and save that for 5 to 10 years. So when it's projected to hit 500,000 or maybe $1 million per coin, we're prepared. Now, if you want to go ahead and sell your Bitcoin now because it's dropping, that's totally your choice. But don't be the Bitcoin story of Pisa. Well, the Pisa guy in the beginning, where and I forgot what year. Eric, what year was it? When the individual purchased the Pisa for 10,000 Bitcoin, I think it might have been like 2008, 2010, somewhere around there. But needless to say, if he's looking back at, when was it? Justin, when was it? All right. Anyway, this individual sold his Bitcoin for 2 large pieces. And now I know, and that was 10,000 Bitcoin. So imagine, one Bitcoin today is worth $2,300. That by 10,000. So the moral of the story, my little interruption with Eric is, it's totally up to you if you want to go ahead and cash out on Bitcoin. But again, we're not in it for the short term. We're not in it to buy some Bitcoin and make a couple. We're in it to acquire at least one Bitcoin, every member of this community, and we can stash it away for our legacy and our family. I was long-winded. I just wanted to say that, though.
No. That's good information, because people need to know that. They need to know that. So thank you for that. That's really, really good info. And then plus, people are always asking me right now. Another question is, the price is $2,300 or $2,400, or very recently $2,500. Why? I don't have $2,500 to pay for a full Bitcoin. How can I invest in it now? It's far too late. It's absolutely not, because of the fact that you can fund and invest any amount you want to. People are so nervous about putting their money in certain areas. The first question I get is, I don't have money to purchase a full coin. The good news is you can purchase increments. You can purchase increments at a time. So you can, 25 here, 100 here, whatever you can put up. I always say, always invest into what you're not afraid to lose, okay? Invest in what you're not afraid to lose, because then you will continue to, do that over and over. Now, we don't encourage trying to push yourself to where you don't have any wiggle room to pay your own bills, because, you got to think wisely and invest wisely. But what you want to do is, you don't want to get 10 or 20 or 100. Make a goal to get at least one coin. I said this in another hangout, but make a goal to get one coin, because if you invest in increments and achieve getting one coin, and I mean that, because whether the price is 2,300 or 23,000, if you have one coin locked in, then you're good. Then now they're projecting it to be 4 and 5 figure. It's already 4 figure, but 5 and 6 figure also within the next 5 years. That's extremely important. So you want that one coin, but you want to also strive to gain more and reinvest every single time you get that chance.
Eric,
but also,
how many years? It's a key point I want them to realize. In how many years?
In 5 years. In 5 years, it's projected, right?
Yeah, so we're not saying in 30 days, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay, I'm just making sure we're not saying 30 days. We're just saying in a couple years. Okay, my fault.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying, how can I make money off Bitcoin? And mindset, because this is a pure investment. People think of Bitcoin in the professional realm as a Bitcoin IRA or retirement plan. You don't want to think about cashing this out too soon. I know people are trying to gain extra funds, which is what our community comes in play. So that's where we come in. But if you're wanting to, and I'm saying, if you're wanting to invest personally in your account, here's my recommendation. Look and research in getting a blockchain and a Coinbase account. You want to have 2 accounts, so that you have one to where you can actually withdraw or cash out if you want, and then a blockchain to sit and have it as a savings. So you can have that set aside that you invest and forget about it. That's extremely important. And that's something that we need to do because, yeah, so I keep putting a spin in and take a note because it's important. People just think about Bitcoin as, I got to have this one account, So here's some things you need to know about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, especially the wallet, Coinbase is definitely not a trading platform like E-Trade, okay? It's like a separate banking account. So nobody's trading on your behalf. It's just you invest, and then as the money fluctuates and rises in value, so does your money and profit. So somebody I talked to last night, I went over this with them. If you invest $100 today, and the price of Bitcoin raises in value like $1,000 or so, your profit is going to be somewhere between, the 120 or 125 mark, in your account, or it may be even a little bit less or a little bit more, depending on the value. And so, usually always get is, how come Bitcoin is something not tangible, or how come I can't hold on to it or withdraw it from a bank? Because here's the difference. Regular fiat currency is completely different in the market than cryptocurrency. And I explained this to somebody today who was trying to battle me between why the price is going up and down. So this is how it works. In the trading realm and in the market, you have to understand that the market cap for Bitcoin right now is sitting on steroids. And so as the market cap increases, I don't know the exact number. I think it's somewhere close to 36 billion. That's the market cap. Or I think it may be a little bit more. But as the market cap increases, so does the spread and the leverage increase into the market. So you have more leeway and more wiggle room for the price to increase. But I was explaining supply and demand. Supply and demand is not very stable in Bitcoin. As you can see, the price is still rising in value. So the currency and cryptocurrency is still trying to get its stability, but it's still spiking really high in its value. I'm not surprised if everyone hit $3,000 within the next month. I can see that happening. I was having a conversation with Keith about it, putting tabs in when it was going to be 1,500, or 1,200, and here we are at 2,300. So I wanted to let you guys know that, to give you a little bit of understanding on Coinbase, blockchain. Create those two accounts is extremely important. So I always want to say that. Now, as far as our community, we have a lot of great news happening. So people who are not in our community watching this video or this hangout, just let we want to let you know that we're extremely active. Every single day I'm dropping news drops on articles that you want to read, because they're on that news on today on what's going on in the Bitcoin realm or any cryptocurrency. But just understand, the sooner you invest into it, the better. And also what we're going to be doing in the community is showing whoever wants to share our community, and you want to do that to gain leverage and profit. That's the idea of our community. So we're going to be showing you how we go about doing it ourselves and sharing it the right way. You're sharing your value and making sure that you can earn while you're investing in the Bitcoin. We're going to show you how we can leverage your Bitcoin also to get it to one or even more. That's the goal. That's the primary goal. So while we go ahead and explain different things, before we go to the next step, the main vision of our community. Our main vision is to help you leverage every single chance you get. We're strictly member to member for a reason. You're not putting your money into a website and then it grows over time. What we're doing is strictly member to member, which is that's how Bitcoin actually was in 2010. When people were exchanging 10,000 so Bitcoin for Pizza, even way back when people were exchanging gold for goods, member to member is how even the elite families, that's how they leverage their money. The families that people don't hear about, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers of the world, they actually leverage their money that way, from person to person, and then they have full control. The thing about Bitcoin is You don't want to just have your money any place that you don't trust. Because Bitcoin is so encrypted, you want to have full control over it. The more control you have over your account, the better. So that's where we come in, to show you how to send and receive Bitcoin. And also, what Keith is going to go over as well is what we have planned as far as, you know, how we market it and what you're going to do on the business side. Because it's important that if you want to do something with Bitcoin to help leverage, keep in mind that companies are actually accepting Bitcoin. You know, vendors and merchants are accepting Bitcoin. Businesses with Bitcoin, and buying houses and cars with Bitcoin. So now that it's starting to get its popularity and volume, that's where we come in to show you the longevity of cryptocurrency. So again, everyone, thank you for actually listening into this hangout. Now we're going to bring you more content and more news right now. One thing that I did pick up that's very, very important news is with all the cryptocurrencies in the world, Bitcoin is on its major spike. But you've probably seen that there are other cryptocurrencies out there. As Bitcoin rises in its value, that just leads the way for all these other, what you would consider to be altcoins. So, you know, even if y'all looked into these other altcoins, do your homework before you make your investment. I'm not going off left field, but I've had questions about this too today. If you invest in another cryptocurrency, do your absolute homework, because if it's not somewhere that's accredited or somewhere that's on like a coin market cap, you don't want to just put your money there and lose it. If it's not Bitcoin, ask one of us or research it. But in our community, we're strictly Bitcoin driven. So that's going to be our driving force. And we have a lot of other things that we're going to go over as well. And then I wanted to go ahead and hand this over to Keith. I didn't want to be too long-winded, but I wanted to let y'all know that this is a great time to invest in Bitcoin. Everybody says, "Well, I missed the boat," but when it's $1 million of Bitcoin, you don't want to be the one waiting for it to crash. You know, I keep seeing people also saying, "Oh, well, Bitcoin is going to crash in the next couple of months," and then they said that last year when it was $500 a Bitcoin, and here we are at $2,300 a Bitcoin, and they're still saying the same thing. So, you know, I wonder how that's going for them. But now that everybody is here and want to listen in very, very closely, we're just going to keep on bringing you content over and over so you can see what we're trying to do here. I want to go ahead and hand it over to Keith to give you a little bit more information on exactly how we're going about, you know, the marketing aspect, and also going, you know, just how we share it and what we're doing as a community. Because people say, well, you know, when am I going to start making money? You know, but it's actually different because they're the ones not really doing anything, but just sitting there waiting, which you don't want to necessarily want to do. You want to be able to share it. We don't say share it with, you know, 5 or 10 or 20 people, just 2. You know, there's like 6 billion people in the world. I'm pretty sure 2 of them that you know would be blessed to see that you thought enough of them to help them invest in their future. So we're not saying go out and quote unquote recruit 1,000 people, you know, because this is not the kind of thing. We're talking about at least sharing the wealth with even your family, you know, somebody who you know would love something like this. And keep in mind, you know, this is something that will really help any generation. So Keith, I don't know if you want to go ahead and add more to what I was saying as far as, you know, how we're sharing the community.
I got a couple things I just want to talk about. Then I don't want to take up too much time. I took a couple notes, but the first thing is this: people being skeptical of Bitcoin. I mean, everything has a risk. You know, I'm just being transparent. Everything has a risk. Your 401k plan has a risk. Playing a lottery has a risk. Your a lot of us right now that's banking on Social Security, that's a risk. You know what I mean? So it's
US dollar is a risk if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely. You know, everything we do right now is a risk. You know, so, you know, is there some type of risk with Bitcoin? Of course there is, you know. However, if you just did your research and not just looking for a quick buck, but actually do your research, Google Bitcoin, you watch some YouTube videos, you will see what's actually going on with Bitcoin. All right. And it is a great opportunity for the average people. And I made a post like I put that on for the average person on one of my posts. And somebody questioned me, what do you mean? Elaborate. What is average? Average is the individual that can go to his or her bank account and pull out $10,000 at any point in time in a month and just go splurge it. That's average. I can't do that right now. I don't know about you, but to me, that's average. I'm not saying, you know, something's wrong with you, but the average working American, you know, can't just go to their bank account and just take out $5,000 and don't think about the repercussions. So it's an opportunity because the average person do take at least every 2 weeks $100 to go buy some Jordans, some shoes, clothes, weed, drinks, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever it is, liquor, you know, and don't think twice about it. However, what we're saying is with our community, we would love to share with you what we're learning about Bitcoin. Matter of fact, let's all learn it together, leverage a team, and let's see where it takes us in the next, you know, 90 to 12 months. You know, our goal for you is really just to get one Bitcoin. We're not promising over, you know, 10, 20 Bitcoin. Like I'm going after 10, I ain't gonna lie. By the end of the year, I'm trying to acquire 10 Bitcoin. But the average person can acquire one if they choose to acquire it. You have to set a goal. You just can't sit back, all right, I'm in this community or I'm doing this and just expect it to be handed to you. You know, think about it this way. People say, Keith, how are you able to, you know, sign people up so fast or so many people? Think about what I'm doing right now. Me and EJ are pretty much doing, and Justin is pretty much doing a hangout once a week. We're putting information about Bitcoin on our page. Not too much about a company, but just peaking awareness about Bitcoin to let people go out and do their own research. Then they'll come back to me, come back to you and say, hey, I'm thinking about this Bitcoin situation. Can you tell me more about it? And you know what we created for you though? When this happens, you can say, you know what? Better yet, I won't just tell you about it, but I have a whole community that's willing to help you learn about it, just like they're helping me. And that's powerful. All right. So number one thing, I'm not gonna get too big on the training because it could go, we could be on this hangout for the next 8 hours. But I'm gonna give you a couple things that I need for you to do and think about moving forward and sharing this opportunity with Bitcoin with other people. The first thing you need to do is believe in what you're doing. You got to believe that you're going to get that one Bitcoin in within a year. You got to believe in Bitcoin becoming a chance for you to change your financial stability in the next 5 to 10 years. You have to believe. If you don't believe it, you can't convince nobody. You know, we're here talking about it because we believe in it, and you could tell if we're serious or not. If I was just like, you know, hey, you know, Bitcoin, I know it fell, but I'm still on the vest because I want to get your money. You know, you wouldn't want to learn more about it. So you have to believe in what you're doing, ladies and gentlemen. That's anything in life. You have to believe. I don't care if it's Bitcoin, cutting hair, being the best lawnmower out there. You have to believe in it. And that's just in anything. And the next thing you got to think about with our community is you got to believe in helping others. Why are we doing this hangout right now? Not to help myself. I'm going to do my research. E is going to do his research. Justin is going to do his research. We're here to continue to remind you. You still got to learn about Bitcoin and know what you're investing yourself into. We're not telling you to get involved and do nothing. Get involved and learn more about it, and maybe a light will go off. And you'll be like, wow, that's what they're talking about. All right. So you got to believe in helping others. I'm giving you tips now to help you make a light go off. You got to believe in helping others. All right. And finally, you know, you got to learn what Bitcoin is and how it's changing the world to date, because it is. It truly is. It's changing the world right now. as we speak. And why I'm so passionate about Bitcoin, because it was one of those days, because I knew about it a long time ago. I even got some Bitcoin back in the day. I sold that stuff real quick because I needed money. But a light went off. All right. And when the light went off for me is when I realized, you know, Bitcoin is just like anything else that is involved with technology. Everything just evolved. Prime example. Remember back in the day, I'm telling my age, I'll tell you, I'm 40 years old. But I remember growing up where once upon a time, we ain't have no computers. And we had pen pals. We wrote letters. We was writing letters. We folded that letter up, put it in an envelope, got a stamp, licked this. Back in the day, we was licking stamps. Now you can just peel them off and put them on. We licked the stamp, put it on there, and mailed it. So imagine if I was trying to get in contact at the time. In 1999, I was playing overseas as well in Finland. So I mailed a letter home to my mom. It took it 2 weeks to get there. Then it took another 2 weeks after she read it and sent it back to me. So it took a month for me to get my mail, maybe 3 weeks. All right. However, now with the internet, if I was overseas now and I wanted to send my mom a letter, it'd take me 30 seconds. How? Email. Email. It was free. As long as you have internet connection, you don't have to get no stamps, and you can reply back instantly. All right. That's one example that it evolved. And this is what cracks me up now is a lot of people say, you know what, Bitcoin is dust, fairy dust. You know, it's not really there. You know, how do I know I really got Bitcoin? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the same way you know when you swipe your debit card that your money won't be there. What's the difference? What is the difference? Because the bank has it. Don't you know the bank can lock you out of your own bank account because you might owe them some money? And don't let you overdraft a fee on your bank on a check or something. They're going to charge you for your own money. Every time you go to the ATM and it's not your bank ATM, they charge you a charge, don't they? But that's your money. These are the things and reasons why individuals, especially that's business owners, is looking to tend to move to cryptocurrencies. Because up until now, up until 2008, who had all the control over our money? The bank and the government. Now it's an opportunity to utilize the Bitcoin wallet, the Bitcoin wallet, just like we used to do back in the day. We used to have that shoebox and put our extra cash in that shoebox and stash it under the bed, you know, under your mattress or whatever the case may be. But the best thing about it now is we stashing our money in the Bitcoin wallet, and as Bitcoin rises, your money rises. All right. We have Bitcoin. They have Bitcoin cards that you could use to transfer your Bitcoin into cash. So how can you pay? Look, oh, BitPay. My name right there. I send my Bitcoin to this card, use it just like cash. We can spend it. And it's on the debit card, right? It's on the debit card. This is what we use to spend money, right? A debit card. What's the difference? So I just wanted to say that real quick, just to let you think about some things. And the last thing is, there's two ways to invest in Bitcoin. And yes, you might be looking at this, you know, this community hangout and saying, you know what? They're just saying that because they want you to get on their community and be part of what they're doing so they can make some extra money or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to give you two options of how you can invest in Bitcoin. The first one is you can sign up for blockchain or Coinbase, link up your own bank account and purchase some Bitcoin on your own and sit back and don't touch it. And you will see how it rises and goes down as the market with Bitcoin goes up. You don't have to join us. You can just do that and just put it away, just like a 401k plan. However, if you want to use that money and sell that Bitcoin, you won't get penalized like you would using your 401k plan. All right. That's one way. Second way is And I can only talk about what we're doing. I don't know what the world is doing right now. I'm just saying with us. The second way is getting a blockchain or a Coinbase, setting up your banking information, purchase some Bitcoin, and get involved with our community so we can show you how to leverage a small amount, no more than $50 one time, into over one Bitcoin. That's our goal. Just from leverage in our community, sharing what we learn as we make more. Because if it works, if we're making it and our Bitcoin is increasing, we're going to share with you exactly what we're doing and how we're doing to see the results that we're having. All right. Remember, I said it's about believing and helping others. All right. So that's my little rant for right now. I know me and Eric wanted me to talk about some of the ways that I'm marketing. I don't want to go into that too much right now, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not, that's going to be on another video. I might just do a training by myself, just to give it to you. But I'm going to just start off with saying this. You can't expect people to want to join someone that they don't know that's in business. Meaning you can't want to show people what our community is if you're acting as if you're 007, a secret agent. In order for people to see or ask you questions, they must see that you're doing it. And if you're not, posting things on, you don't even have to post the business. Ask people, do you, make a simple post on your Facebook or social media page. Do you know what Bitcoin is? Can someone even ask the question? Because people like giving their opinion. What is Bitcoin? I'm seeing all this stuff about Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Excuse me. People start chiming in. If you have a conversation, and start going from there. So it's a lot of different ways that I use the market. So me and Eric gonna sit down rather, and really come up with the best ways to teach this community, because we don't want to get too technical, but we want to give you some skills that will help you share our community. All right. Give me a second. Oh, Eric, I might as well tell him now. So we do got a quick announcement. We're going to currently our community. We're going to launch our pre-launch on June 1st. So pre-launch will be June 1st. And all the pre-launch is going to be our scale of helping people learn more about Bitcoin, understanding Bitcoin, and know how it will change, our world as we know it in the next 90 days. So when we launch in September 1st, we'll have nothing but leaders and more seasoned people to be able to explain and help the community learn about Bitcoin a little bit faster. All right. So right now we in our early stages of creating this community. So in 90 days, we give it ourselves and every member of our community to learn more about Bitcoin. So we're giving us a goal. All right. So we will launch. We'll have more information on our launch coming up on June 1st with more information on that. So just be prepared to know that we're launching pre-launch of our community, Crypto Freedom, on June 1st, 2017. And Eric, that's pretty much all I have to say, man. And, last thing, whoever invited you to look at this hangout, if you're interested with our community, get back to that person. Let them know you're interested so you could join them. Don't join me. Don't join Eric. Don't join, Justin, unless you are one of our people that we introduced to this concept. But we're very loyal to our community, trying to help everyone succeed. So if someone sent you to this video and asked you to watch it, make sure you get back to that person and join under them. And they will do the same for you. All right. And that's all I have to say, Eric. Is back to you. I don't know if Justin have anything to say himself, but I'm done. I'm going to hit mute and get some popcorn.
Yeah, my baby's crying a little bit over here, so I don't want to say too much. I just want to kind of reiterate what you were saying about talking to people with Bitcoin. You'd be surprised out there how many people still are oblivious to the fact that Bitcoin even exists. I mean, the Bitcoin users have gone up tremendously in the past year, like about 700% just since 2017 started, but that's not even 5% of the world's population still. At least in America. It's a little more in some countries because there's even countries that have it as the national currency now, like Estonia. I don't know if y'all even heard that country, but several countries have mainstream Bitcoin as their primary currency. But yeah, back to people being oblivious. I mean, you can sit down at the coffee shop and flash your little BitPay card like Keith does every now and then. People look at it like, what the heck is that? And you'd be like, it's Bitcoin card. You never heard of Bitcoin? And then boom, there's your conversation. Just simple stuff like that. Look at your Coinbase wallet while you're sitting there in the line at Walmart or something, just random conversations. Because I'm the kind of person, I don't like approaching my family and friends. I've done quite a few businesses here and there, and they kind of turn their cheek a little bit. So for the people that aren't comfortable approaching their friends and their family, start doing little things like that. It's real simple, real easy, and people are curious by nature. They'll listen to you, and they'll ask questions. But yeah, let's get the word out.
That's the truth, man. I appreciate that, Justin. That's the truth. The most important thing about that part is, you want to be able to share it with the right people. You don't want to be able to share with somebody who will ask a million questions and then not do their homework. These are what you would call the quote unquote, is it a scam people? My answer to that question is, because I get that also, is, if it is a scam, then, give me your definition of what you think it is. What do you think a scam is in your definition? They'll say, well, somebody who, or something that will, take all your money and you don't gain any profit from it. And I said, really? That's your definition of it, huh? So you mean to tell me, and I won't go into too much depth of it, but whenever somebody gives me that spiel, I'll just let them know about my life story, of being in corporate America. And not to be too grueling about it, but, I literally worked every single day and year while I was building my business, but I told them in the world was corporate America because they consumed all of my time, that I could not focus on what I needed to do. So now that I'm trading full time, I let them know that I didn't just get here from an inheritance from God. I got this from hard work and failing a million times. And so for you to ask that question really was almost like an insult, to me. Like, why would I be sharing this to you if I felt like it wasn't going to benefit, you at all? All three of us on this hangout right now have reputations. You don't see us out here slamming people or bashing people or going out, taking other people's money, because then otherwise we wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now. And so we have reputations that are very, very reputable and something that is to be commended. And so now that we're here sharing this with you, I get people who all the time will say, oh, I'm gonna do my own research. You know what? When people say I'm gonna do my own research, I send them a couple dozen million links to their Facebook Messenger of things they need to look at. My group actually, the group that we actually are involved in, I send out a couple dozen news drops every single day. People who ask me those separate questions, I will send them stuff every single day until they get tired of me. And I want them to be educated, because it's not just what's in it for me. It's all about knowledge, because this is going back to, the age of learning about what internet is, going back to what Keith said. People who aren't really grasping Bitcoin right now, it's almost similar to how they couldn't grasp the cell phone to the landline, or how to text, how to send an email on the internet, how to navigate the internet, let alone try to, shut down and turn on a computer. So the same applies with Bitcoin. This is a new concept. And now that it's brand new, I ask everybody, and I encourage you to keep an open mind, because it's not easy in the very beginning for some people. Keep at it and be patient, because I can guarantee you this cryptocurrency isn't going anywhere. Somebody told me a while back, in order to completely get rid of Bitcoin, You have to completely get rid of every major internet grid across the world. You got to get rid of the entire internet grid. That's not going to ever happen. For security reasons and for breach of trust in the United States, that will never happen. And let alone people who ask, how is this how come there are so many regulations that don't abide with Bitcoin? Because of the fact that it's not a U.S. based currency, it allows us more wiggle room and more leeway to have our own freedom to do and share how we want to. So I want to share that with you all. Another quick update. Coinbase, if anybody's using Coinbase in their verification process of how you can fund cards, when you're actually on Coinbase.com, you have the ability to link your card. They're fixing the process of the CVV number, the credit card verification number, so that you can actually link your card. They're fixing that up to right now, so you won't ever have that problem again. So I know a lot of you asked me that question. Your answer is right there. They're going to get that fixed completely. All right. So be patient. For now, I would say to continue to use your bank or PayPal if you're using that to deposit and withdraw. In the next day or so, it should be completed. So now that I go over that, if anybody has questions after the hangout, let us know. We're here to help you all. Again, like Keith said, and like Justin said, we're not in this for us. We're in this to educate and help other people along the way and show them how we're sharing it with other people, because that's how we grow as a community. All right. So thank you all for being a part of this hangout and watching this video. Again, if there's anything that y'all need from us, let us know. Anybody not in our community that has questions for me or Keith or Justin, please let us know, and we'll be glad to answer any question. If you don't know the answer, we will look it up and find it for you. All right. Everybody have a very great night, and we will talk to you in the next hangout, which will be scheduled to be determined, but we usually may go again for Wednesday at 3:30. All right. All right. So everybody have a great night and be blessed.